North Adelaide Railway Station might just be the most pointless and stupidest railway station in all of Australia. There are several factors as to why this is, which is what we will discuss today. North Adelaide Station opened in 1857 and is located in the Adelaide suburb of North Adelaide. The station features a historic building on Platform 2, which is one of the oldest railway station buildings in Australia, as well as the third oldest in South Australia. The station is located on the Gawler line between Ovingham and Adelaide, making it the first station on the Gawler line outside of the Adelaide CBD. North Adelaide Station received electrification in 2022 along with the rest of the Gawler line. It should also be noted that the Adelaide to Darwin standard gauge line also passes the station to the west, running parallel to the Gawler line as far as Salisbury. North Adelaide Railway Station is the least used railway station on the Adelaide Metro network. Despite being the first station on the Gawler line outside of the city, it is the least used station for good reason, as it is the only served by trains every 30 minutes during the morning and evening peak. There are no services that stop here outside of weekday peak hour or on weekends. This means that on weekends the station is essentially closed. The poor frequency is the biggest factor as to why the station is the least used in Adelaide. However, there are several other factors that also contribute to the station's incredibly low patronage. If we take a look at the location of North Adelaide Station, you will notice that it doesn't really serve anything at all. The station is located in the Adelaide Parklands. There are a few houses located nearby on Mills Terrace, but that's really it. To the west of the station, there are a few shops, but that brings us to our next point, Bowden Station. Bowden Station is located only a few hundred metres west of North Adelaide on the Grange, Port Dock and Outer Harbour lines, which serves the area much better, and on top of that has a much better frequency, as it is generally served about every 15 minutes off peak. This means that anyone that is located west of North Adelaide Station is much better off just using Bowden Station instead, and anyone located to the east would just be better off walking into the city, as it's very easy to walk into the Adelaide CBD, as it's really not that far. So as you can see, the infrequency of trains, the location and the main purpose already being served by a better located station, North Adelaide is essentially useless. The station somewhat resembles Melbourne's East Richmond Station, which has a similar situation with most services also running express through it. So it begs the question, why is this station still open? Well, if train services are so infrequent with little patronage and a very close alternative nearby, why bother keeping this station open? The maintenance of this station is going to waste as it gets very little usage. The only major upgrade that the station has received recently is electrification in 2022, which is part of the entirety of the Gawler line anyway. So that's what's currently wrong with North Adelaide Station. However, could it become a more legitimate station? Well, actually yes. While I did state that North Adelaide is useless, there would be a reason for people to use the station if it did have a legitimate frequency. If you wanted to get from, say, Dudley Park to Woodville, what you would have to do is take a Gawler line train, then change for a Port Dock, Grange or Outer Harbour line train in either the city or alight at North Adelaide and walk to Bowden. North Adelaide could also get more usage from people coming in from the north that are intending on heading to the Bowden area from the Gawler line, as currently you have to go into the city or alight at Ovingham and walk to Bowden, unless you're on one of the few trains that actually stops at North Adelaide. If more Gawler line trains stopped at North Adelaide, the station may actually get more usage as a suburban interchange station to connect with trains at Bowden rather than in the Adelaide city. Of course, it's not ideal for an interchange to involve a few 100-metre walk, but it does save time having to go into the city and back out, and may allow for better connections that would otherwise be cutting it tight if you were to do that in the city. Of course, residents in the North Adelaide area would still not likely take the time to walk to this station, as it's just as easy to walk straight into the city. However, they may use the station more often if they were heading out of the city towards Gawler. Currently, the only reason to use the station would be to say that you use the least used railway station in Adelaide, or if you are heading towards Galway and there just happens to be a train stopping there at the time that you're going, which I can't imagine too many people would be doing with the current service frequency. Even if you were heading towards Galway, it's just as easy to walk to the nearby Ovingham station as it is to the city, unless of course the station gets a legitimate frequency. Despite North Adelaide Station currently being useless, it is still a good spot for train spotting, as it does offer some nice scenery if you wanted to take scenic photos of trains, as it is located in the Adelaide Parklands. It is also a good spot for filming express trains close up without obstruction, as most trains don't stop here anyway. There are two types of trains that can be seen in North Adelaide, mostly the Adelaide Metro 4000 class, which resembles the Velocity and B Series trains found in regional Victoria and Greater Perth respectively, as well as the occasional 3000 and 3100 class trains, which resemble the Commons trains found in suburban Melbourne. Freight trains, as well as the Indian Pacific and the GAN, also pass by the station on the Adelaide to Darwin standard gauge railway line. So with that, that's North Adelaide Railway Station, perhaps Australia's stupidest railway station. Before ending, I would like to point out that I'm not from Adelaide, so I may be wrong about something, so feel free to correct me if I am wrong. This is also my first non-Victorian video, and I do hope to have at least one other Adelaide video coming out soon before we go back to Victoria. Bye for now.